On the streets of Samoa's capital Apia, election season is in full swing. Billboards are popping up all over the city. Elections here are usually predictable, but 4 years after the first change in government in 40 years, there are more candidates and parties contesting this election than ever before. As Samoans prepare to vote in what is shaping up as a three-way contest, cost of living is front of mind. Taxi driver Muagututia Ioana says life is tough at the moment.
Ole o loa mua kakuo i le pusa moa. Onga ole 5 kausanga wakia sa kolu sul 5 ka la pusa moa. Ore se fake ka inga le lenga ole are kai mingi. Wo se lau mon kupu le kau ole pusa moa. Ore kai mingi. Ole inga ia ufanga ulai ki le wei. Wo le koe a fo ringa le kau ole apa susu la poa.
Ha, tai lava mo lava no.
While Tasi thinks political dramas have distracted the government from doing its job.
Ia ala karsanga ngai fai pule. Ia o ko alo fa mongi o ko ku malo nga ko fia o ko ke anga ia koi. I ko kongo o parlemengi. Mau ke le ko fia wa ai se Samoa fe ai ngai. Se Samoa ku iai.
2025 has been a year of conflict and infighting in Samoa's parliament. Prime Minister Fiamē Naomi Mataʻafa survived 2 consecutive votes of no confidence after her ruling Fast Party fractured. The turmoil included a highly publicised gendered attack on Fiamē in Parliament.
Your leadership would have been remarkable if you had gotten married and someone would advise you.
While she's clung to power for now, the Prime Minister has 2 main rivals trying to unseat her. The first is former Prime Minister of 22 years Tuilaʻepa Dr. Saʻilele Malielegaoi and his Human Rights Protection Party. He's unveiled a swathe of populist policies, like annual 500 tala payments for every Samoan. And he's promised to build a bridge between the country's 2 main islands. The other contender is Fiamé's former Agriculture Minister, Laaulialemalietoa Polataivao Schmidt. He helped install Fiamē as PM, but earlier this year she asked him to resign after he was charged with a range of crimes, including attempting to pervert the course of justice and electronic harassment. Allegations he denies and is still defending in court. When he refused to step down, the ruling Fast Party split, with supporters installing Laaulialemalietoa as the new leader. Besides the main parties, there are also more independents than ever before contesting Samoa's 51 parliamentary seats. For some Samoans, after decades of the same government, the recent instability has felt chaotic.
Ai wo le kuko akasi fa mai fa Samoa o le retinu I tuto tasi a fa pela leva ai aku ia ma ko fangau I kai le kungule fi ai ngai e fa pe nga fu yang wai me nga le fusu ku pulanga Samoa mele a fa pe fer fangi male ko aka ko ai Samoa makango fi ma
ia a fa pe o yeisi o ele tari ni pese fa manuele tu I o lātou tonu lea o te ngawhatauri maina pei o le.
Tuilaʻepa is a music producer here in Apia. A series of rolling blackouts earlier this year that prompted a state of emergency exacerbated the sense of instability. While the grid is now fixed, the power outages cost Samoa as much as 16% of GDP in losses, and business owners like Tuilaʻepa lost thousands.
Mo le limafe. I le masina. Ia sa maua I nei o wo ia sa I te mie matu te tawhao ai ia sa whaari mai lama lato ngau le mali e vo I le tūlanga o le pesa o le pawa.
The country's power corporation blamed aging energy infrastructure, but the crisis put Fiamé's leadership in the spotlight. And her rivals are capitalizing on concerns over the cost of living. despite being an agitator of some of the recent chaos. Laaulialemalietoa Polataivao Schmidt is a popular and charismatic leader with a huge online presence. His rallies are big and energetic. Similar to HRPP, he's pushing a range of populist initiatives, like free hospital services, monthly allowances for pregnant women, and cash for low-income families, just to name a few. We had hoped to ask Laaulialemalietoa about how he might fund these promises, but he cancelled a planned interview. Prime Minister Fiamē Naomi Mataʻafa's newly formed Samoa Uniting Party is also promising free education and healthcare, land restitution for villages, and pension increases. You know, for your party specifically, Samoa Uniting Party, everybody's curious about how will your party deliver these bold promises in the future should you be re-elected?
Bold? I thought we were quite temperate compared to bridges to Saui'a from the other guys, and 500 per person, every single person in the country. I wouldn't call it bold, I would call it realistic, but I think quite targeted in terms of where we want to put the investment from government.
I would like to raise some of the issues that many of our people have shared, and one of them in particular is the cost of living, which has risen sharply under your government. Why should they trust your party should return to manage this when you have been in power for 4 years and the prices are still rising? Honourable.
Well, I think to be fair, Adele, I don't think Samoa is the only country that's experiencing cost of living rises. We're looking at taking away duties and tariffs on basic foods. Chicken seems to be the headliner.
Besides cost of living measures, Fiamē says she has also proven she can govern responsibly.
We're very much about the rule of law, which has been a contentious issue, not only with the HRPP, but with the other side of the FAST party.
When Fiamē won the 2021 election, former PM of 22 years, Tuilaʻepa Dr. Saʻilele Malielegaoi refused to leave Parliament and concede defeat, forcing Fiamē to be sworn in a tent outside Parliament House.
When you have the power, the mindset is we can do whatever we like. And that unfettered attitude, towards governance is something that I do not condone as a leader.
Legal threats and court proceedings have become a recurring theme in Samoa's politics. Just recently, Fiamē filed a complaint with police and launched civil proceedings against Laaulialemalietoa for repeating disproven conspiracy theories about her at a campaign event. At least 3 prominent Samoan bloggers, living both here and overseas, are also facing criminal charges related to information they posted on social media. We've come to the National University of Samoa to speak to Tuala, Dr. Saui'a Louise, Mataia Milo, about the growing issue. Good morning. Have a seat. Dr. Mataia Milo led the country's biggest survey of Samoans' voting attitudes.
81% of Samoans have high trust in traditional institutions, family circles, the village council. In recent years, however, digital media platforms have increasingly become part of Samoan life. The influence of the Samoan diaspora, which is larger than the domestic population, adds another layer. The news, the opinions, and sometimes misinformation travel swiftly back to Samoa, often bypassing the usual filters, and as a result, even robust community filters can sometimes be overwhelmed.
Dr. Mataia Milo says the contested 2021 election in which Tuilaʻepa refused to step down exacerbated the issue.
The intensity and uncertainty of the 2021 crisis made communities especially vulnerable to rumors. To effectively fight misinformation in Samoa, first we can empower our trusted local leaders, actively address rumors and clarify key issues at the community level. So I think that as a nation we must remain vigilant, check the facts before sharing the news, talk to your family and village, and remember that not every sensational claim, especially those from abroad, reflect the true situation in Samoa.
At the age of 81, and having served as Prime Minister for more than 2 decades, the person arguably most responsible for the modern Samoan state is HRPP leader Tuilaʻepa Dr. Saʻilele Malielegaoi. For many years, HRPP was the country's dominant political force, and it's vying to return, spruiking its credibility after 40 years of continuous rule. Sitting down with us at his headquarters, Tuilaʻepa says he would have 500 tala cash payments to voters by Christmas if elected, and appears to suggest he would chase tax dodgers to pay for it. Will HRPP be getting the money from all the taxes to use for the promises?
I'm seeing a lot of businesses, they continue growing and growing and growing. And you wonder, where is the money from? I am sure they are not paying the proper tax. And so we have done all this. And all that needs to do is to encourage better implementation of the laws.
Now, when HRPP was in power, why were these policies not considered during your term? And why now?
There is only one only way to find out whether a party can do what it wants, what it promises. And that is to look at their record.
HRPP has made great but bold promises, and the biggest of them all is a bridge from Upolu all the way to Saui'a.
From Apolima to Saui'a, probably 8 miles. There are bridges in China over 40 miles. So with the change of technology and with our friends that we are going to talk to, nothing is impossible.
The estimated cost of such a bridge would be in the billions of dollars. Tuilaʻepa suggests it could be possible with the help of development partners and the World Bank, but no actual engineering or funding plan is in place to construct it. What do you see as the most pressing issue facing Samoa over the next political term?
The major drive for us is to restore the confidence of the international community to the leadership of Samoa, to restore the stability of our country, of Samoa.
While HRPP is looking back on its record, many young people want to look forward. Talofa Moiloto, how are you? We've come to meet Moiloto Ilinganoa at the art school where she studies and now teaches. Samoa is the only Pacific country with a quota for female representation in Parliament. But some of the gendered attacks on Prime Minister Fiamē have left many wondering how much progress has really been made. Still, for Moiloto, having a woman leading the country has been encouraging.
I was very empowered. I felt women could do anything, but seeing that, it was such a game changer for our tupa. It's an amazing thing to witness as a Tamaitai Samoa or Samoan female.
How do young people feel about politics?
What I get from youth and also my perspective is I think we're just kind of tired of all the drama. It just keeps increasing, and it's starting to get very, very annoying. And it's pretty sad because the people who are in Parliament, they are all people who are literally probably the same age as my grandparents. I think that's another reason why they're very uninterested, is because everyone in the Parliament is very old, and they all come with like an old school, they're still in the old school era. It would also be nice to see some youth faces in Parliament as well. I think it's time for them to step up. I think it's time for you to step up, because we need that now.
Samoans head to the polls on August 29th. And like so many others, Moiloto wants the country's politicians to put aside the differences and focus on real solutions to the problems Samoa faces.
If there is no stable foundation, there is no stable house.